Alright, we're gonna film a video right here because, yeah, let's do it. So the topic this week is to talk about something controversial in your area. I'm going to talk about the Hopwood case. Now, if you don't know, the Hopwood case is something that basically it used to be in around, like, in Texas and some surrounding states that, and it still is at lots of places, but this is, that there's a quota for colleges in terms of racial minorities. This many African Americans, this many Asian Americans, and stuff like that. And it was coming down to the fact that there were just people with severely lower test grades, lower, recommendations, lower qualifications, getting into really prestigious colleges. And my uncle was actually, he was actually a plaintiff in this case, so I know a bit about it because he was actually doing that case when I was born. So anyways, so the Hopwood case was a lady named Miss Hopwood and a bunch of other people who didn't get into the law school of their choice because they were not racial minorities. And I understand why the quota was set up, because it had been where people had just been getting into colleges because of legacy, not because of qualifications. And I understand why that was set up, but I do think that it was time for it to end. There are definitely some people who think that no, that was wrong, it should have stayed. But basically, I'm not explaining this very eloquently, I'm really sorry. But basically why I think that the Hopwood case was important in ending that quota was because, they were trying to do it to increase diversity, but I think people really need to get a broader idea of what diversity is, because diversity is not just the color of your skin. Diversity can be, what position you're in right now, socioeconomic position, if you're single, if you're married, if you're a single parent, and, there were all these different ages, Mrs. Hopwood, I think it was Miss Hopwood, was actually a single parent, and so there were so many different people that were in different situations, and that created lots of diversity, but it wasn't just because of the color of their skin. And so I think this is really important, and some people are thinking, one of the arguments against the Hopwood case is that, statistically, African Americans and Hispanics come from, worse educations, and I understand that. And I understand that, sometimes you have to make exceptions, but I don't think that, there should be exceptions for everyone because of the color of their skin. I think that, obviously our schooling system is not perfect, and obviously it's going to take a lot of time to make sure that everyone gets an equal schooling system, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I don't think that people should be discriminated against because of the color of their skin. I think that it should be, because in Texas we also have this top 10% rule, where if you're in the top 10% of any of your public school class, then you can get into any public college. But that's just for public schools. That's not private schools or homeschooling or anything like that. And I don't think that that's right. Not because it's not because of the private school or homeschooling thing, but because I don't think that it should just be overall. I think that it should percent it. If you have one district that has really, really high test scores, then I think that they should get a higher percentage, like a 15%. And I think that if you have a district with lower test grades, then they should get a lower percentage, because I think that you need to be let into college because of how smart you are and how hard you work, not just because, you happen to have a higher test grade than some of the other people. As opposed to, because I know people who didn't get into college, but they had higher test grades than other people who did just because of where they lived, and I think that's wrong. But I understand that you need to make some exceptions for people, but I don't think that, it should be all these exceptions. So that's my opinion on that. I'd love to hear your opinion. Sorry, I feel like I'm just sort of rambling, unintelligibly in this video. If I am, let me know. So yeah. Also, it was really rushed. I was talking really fast the whole time. I don't know why that was. Anyways, alright. I love you so much, and I will see you later.